Imagine breaking a World Cup record by scoring 5 goals in one game, but not even being the biggest shock of the match.
And it is now 5-1, and Salenko has written himself into World Cup history.
Well, that's what happened to Russian Oleg Salenko in 1994, when he was upstaged by the king of the corner flag swingers, our old mate, our very old mate, Roger Milla.
I loved Roger Milla. For 2 World Cups, he just captivated all of us.
By scoring Cameroon's consolation goal, he became the oldest goal scorer in World Cup history. Age, 42 years, 1 month and 8 days.
The old man has not lost the magic. The only thing missing is the wiggle by the corner flag.
I loved Roger Milla, this guy from Cameroon who could score at the age of 107, and I think that's a conservative estimate. It was like a lesson for old people. Between him and Victor Meldrew in the 90s, they were carrying the grey flag, saying to pensioners, you can do it as well. There's always this question that Scottish people ask, why do we never get past the first round? I think the answer is because we're rubbish.
This is less of a moment and more of an eternal phenomenon trundling aimlessly through the mists of time. Yes, it's Scotland's World Cup record of being knocked out in the first round more times than anyone else. 8, in case you're wondering. Yeah, thanks for coming. See you next time.
They've sort of assumed joke status. They are the easy game at this level.
We're maybe the only set of fans that go in expecting to be defeated handsomely every time. It's glorious failure. And when you go with that attitude, anything's a bonus. If we get a throw-in, we celebrate it like a goal. Yes, can't believe it. Another goal kick. This is amazing. We are a very, very inventive nation, and we can find the most creative ways to be eliminated from tournaments.
And Scotland's creative juices were really flowing at Italia 90 to ensure their proud record stayed intact. First, they lost to Costa Rica.
We hadn't even heard of Costa Rica. We all thought it was some 18 to 30 resort in Spain.
Next, they beat Sweden.
Persson got a fling. McCall!
Part of the plan to tease their fans before the crucial game against mighty Brazil.
Picture the scene. Scotland fans have optimism, always a dangerous trait. All we have to do is get a point and we're through. 80 minutes gone, we're doing brilliantly. Had a couple of scares, but we're shutting them out. Then, Brazil hits a long shot, but Jim Leighton's in goal. He's quite good. We're just shouting, oh, Leighton's got this. Leighton's not got this. He spilled it. It's out. He's never going to score that. He's never going to score. That's in the net. That's 1-0. Oh, well, that's that done. See you in 4 years. Thanks, guys. Been lovely. Cheers, Scotland.
I don't think it's so much that the World Cup in Scotland don't mix, just that Scotland and football don't mix. I'm going to get in trouble for saying that.
And the crowd in the Azteca Stadium stand in.
We're here witnessing the greatest player in the world scoring one of the greatest goals.
Yeah, great goal, whatever. The shocking thing about this is why didn't anyone foul him?
We look like we're scared to tackle him. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's easy sitting there watching, saying, do something.
And you're thinking, bring him down, foul him, bring him down, do anything, kick him, bring him down.
Sometimes it's just difficult to even foul him.
England's players seem to go into some kind of trance.
Someone, pretty much on the whole run, jogs about 2 metres behind him.
That was Peter Reid.
And I don't know if he's just trying to get a good view, thinking, good run. Yeah, this is a good run.
You've got to remember that this was the team that included Terry Butcher, who even back then looked like he worked in B&Q.
In a FIFA poll, it was voted the goal of the century. But England keeper Peter Shilton doesn't really rate it.
I think he only beat a couple of men in the run, but obviously he ran a long way with the ball, which was something that made the goal look fantastic.
And there is a very dejected man.
We've reached half-time, but what will be our most shocking World Cup moment?
It could be Maradona.
Or it could be the Winker. Or it might be that bald French bloke.
Beckham. Or even Diana Ross.
That could be my goal.
Peter Crouch!
It won't be.
By far the biggest shock in 2002 was that the World Cup was held in 2 countries, and one of them was South Korea, who surprised everyone by giving themselves a shot at a quarter-final place. But Italy would obviously trample all over that little pipe dream.
What a story!
But hang on, they knocked Italy out 2-1 with a golden goal, and in the spirit of fair play and good grace, the Italians cried foul.
It's probably the worst game, and I had to watch being refereed by someone that clearly had an issue with Italy.
Their talisman Totti was sent off for diving, and the whole of Italy shouted conspiracy.
You saw Trapattoni there. You tried telling him the world's not against him.
Or maybe they were just angry for not trying to fix it themselves. Mamma mia!
So you want me to talk about corruption in Italian football on the television? You've got to be mad.
Personally, I believe that when it came to the game against one of the host nations, that it was in no way an inconvenience for FIFA to have a host nation remain in the tournament.
Yeah, there have been some strange decisions, but conspiracy theories generally come about afterwards.
There seemed to be a strong wind blowing behind them, if you know what I mean.
You mean it was a fix?
Equally, though, we wouldn't be talking about this if Christian Vieri had actually put that ball away just before, 88th minute, the easiest chance of the World Cup.
Oh, right, it wasn't a fix then. Still, Italy got revenge on Korean goalscorer An Jung-hwan.
He was playing for Perugia at the time, and they just decided to get rid of him because he'd scored against Italy and he lost his contract. I think what it's going to be like for the North Koreans this World Cup, because if you make an error and you're in North Korea, you don't lose your contract, you probably lose your family.
And referee Byron Moreno will be taking a huge risk if he ever goes out for an Italian meal again.
The referee in that game's got a lot to answer for, and I wish he came to my restaurant so I could cook for him.
It's important that when you lose, that you take it with good grace and show respect and dignity to your opponent.
Yeah. Or, if you're Argentina, you get stuck into a mass brawl.
It's Germany v Argentina in 2006, and the Argentines had just gone out on penalties. Cue mayhem.
They just went mental and brilliant. Not only have we had a penalty shootout, we've got a post-match fracas. Everyone loves that. So the game's over, but it's not over.
Bonkers. Nailed it. His karate kicked him right in the groin. I've never seen anything like that. That was unbelievable what he's just done.
You know, staff getting involved, coaches, waves of Argentinians sort of like milling, massing around the Germans. It was a complete melee.
Oh, look at this. The Argentines have lost their cool completely. This is awful. This is awful.
No, it was brilliant.
The funny thing was, the directors didn't cut away to the crowd. They just let us see the whole fracas going on.
Let's concentrate what everyone wants to see. It's kicking off. It was great, total little close-ups and hikes. And one bloke just kind of jumping, trying to get to people.
The World Cup definitely needs those moments when you get to see a bit of drama, stuff that you're not really supposed to see.
If scrapping Argentines wasn't enough of a shock, perhaps the real surprise was that Jens Lehmann just kept walking. Perhaps fighting wasn't on his list. The World Cup would not work without one vital ingredient: the fans.
There's always this thought about the Tartan Army. Why are we so upbeat, so positive, so hopeful? It's drink.
I think the Irish fans were the best anywhere. I mean, everybody loved them.
There's a lot of wacky fans. You see fans doing wacky things. But for me, the guy holding the snake, the guy has brought a live snake to a game, right?
From reptiles to birds, Colombian and Brazilian, is it any surprise that a great deal of twitching takes place?
There's always the cameraman manages to find the beautiful, stunning model in the crowd. And you say, go on, son.
The fans also helped to reaffirm a few national stereotypes.
You get the Brits there, skinheads, a few drinks, bit of sunburn and a flag painted on their face.
But in 2006, the Dutch fans topped the lot with this shocker.
It's a bit like a red rag to the bull.
Dutch beer company Bavaria ignored FIFA's rules on advertising and wound up the Germans by getting fans to wear bright orange lederhosen to matches.
First of all, lederhosen are not supposed to be made from cotton, and they shouldn't be orange. So already they're in conflict with the authorities.
Do you know what? The Germans sometimes need to get a sense of humour.
Strict German organisers claimed the branded garments broke the rules and gave the Dutch fans a dressing down.
The German authorities make sure that these Dutch guys lose their trousers.
You see, they have got a sense of humour. But the Dutch fans had the last laugh by watching the Ivory Coast match in their underpants.
I'd be more offended at that. What if you're there with your mum or your granny or something and you've got all these blooming Dutch fans standing there with their little packages out?
And their ballsy attitude was rewarded as Holland took the Ivory Coast trousers down with a 2-1 victory.